Want to thicken up your mid-back? Let me show you 3 exercises that John taught me to specifically target that area. All right, guys, if you're an OG MountainDog follower, you'll know that when he was chasing his pro card, one of the feedback he would get from the judges are, you gotta thicken up your mid-back and your lats. So him and Dave went to work and cranked program after program. There was like 3 in a row where it was tons of mid-back work in there, and 3 of the exercises that he taught us to do were gonna be all centered around a prone shrug. So what I thought I would do is dig in, show you these 3 different variations, one with dumbbells, one with a bar on the rack, and then one in the T-bar, and it'll really take that mid-back training to the next level. Now, it's very precise, it's very precision-based. You can screw this up very easily. But if once you nail it, you will get a pump in your mid to low trap so fast that you'll notice almost instant change once you start applying these to your training programs. All right, number 1, this is the prone dumbbell shrug. So if you look at the bench set about a roughly 45-degree angle, I have 2 dumbbells, neutral grip, and if you notice, all I'm thinking about doing is taking my traps and folding them on my spine. So all I'm thinking about is relax, back. That motion is exactly what I'm after there. And if you notice, it was slow and deliberate, meaning I let a stretch and then a squeeze and can hold the contraction for at least a 1 count, ideally a 2 or a 3. So there's not a lot of range of motion, very similar to like a shrug for your upper trap. There's not a lot of range. So we really have to own every inch of it because we're talking about maybe this much range, right? So let's talk about some cues here. Throughout the entire course of all 3 exercises, if we get elbow bend here, I'm pulling my biceps or my back. I don't want that. All I'm thinking about doing is taking my shoulder and folding it, relaxing it, and then driving it back. And driving it back, just like that from the side. If you can see that, here to here, here to here. So it's concave chest, open chest, and it's almost like there is what I'm thinking about. I'm not over-exaggerating it. So with these dumbbells, most gyms you're gonna be able to do this and easily configure it, right? 45-degree bench, 2 dumbbells, moderately heavy. If I was doing work sets here, I'd probably go 50, 60, 70, 8 to 12 range, and just squeeze them hard. It's very easy to cheat this. Get your erectors into it, and how we do that is you start open and over arching. It's not an arch. It's open, fold in my chest, open in my chest, fold, open. It's not a back. I don't wanna contract my erectors. Also, it's very easy to start bending your arms when you get tired. If that happens, lighten the load and start to set over. Easy. Exercise number 2 is gonna be a barbell rack scrape. So same bench, slightly elevated incline. And what I wanna think about on these is not only am I driving the weight up, but I'm driving it into the rack. Very similar like you would do a cage press for shoulders. So I'm thinking about pulling the bar to me and then up. And that constant tension destroys my mid-back. The setup on this is a little bit more cumbersome because you got to get it set up in a power rack. Your power rack can't have any like J cups or any type of hooks on it or dip bars. It has to be a smooth rack, and you just grind the bar up and against the rack. So same premise. I'm still thinking about going here, driving in and then pull up, up, up. It feels absolutely incredible, guys. This doesn't look, again, like we're doing much, but if you own every inch of this, I'm telling you, you're gonna freaking love it. What I would probably start with, if you've never done these, put a quarter on each side, then do a plate and a quarter. I've done as much as 2 plates on this, but that's when I was doing it weekly, and I had a really great mind-muscle connection with the exercise. So again, start on the lighter side. Make sure you're nailing the reps before you really drive it up progressive overload style. So this exercise is all about driving blood into that muscle, feeling it, making it work, because what I wanna think about in terms of structuring it is I'm gonna put this towards the end of my workout. So you're already gonna be a little bit fatigued, so it's gonna be very easy to cheat, but do not do that. And exercise number 3, probably the easiest of the 3 in terms of setup. It's just a normal T-bar row. You can do a neutral grip, pronated grip, or even I'm doing a semi-pronated grip here today. Not a big deal, the grip doesn't matter. It's still the same premise, right? Fold my chest around the pad, squeeze my back together. Fold my chest, squeeze my back. Arms are straight. I even showed you guys a little cool addition where you can do chains on it. The reason I like chains on this piece is it adds to the overload of the contraction portion. So obviously as I'm driving up off the rack, it's not a lot more load, but it is an amount of load because that muscle, for most people, aren't gonna be super strong. So with these, when John and I would do them, we'd probably go plate and a quarter and 2 or 3 chains, and it felt great. 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Again, keeping your arms straight, thinking about really squeezing and connecting to that muscle. Because again, remember, we are bodybuilding. This is a very specific exercise. This is not what I would consider a clang and bang, see how much weight you can get on there, sloppily do reps. You have to own every inch of this, or you're not gonna feel it in the desired area, which is medial and low trap, which is if you need that thicker on your back, it's gonna look so impressive once it's fully developed. So again, this is a very specific video that I'm making, guys, here. This isn't an overarching, like, hammer your lats. Like, this is we're talking about a muscle like this. Maybe 2 by 3 for most people, unless you're really tall. So again, very specific here. Own the reps, mimic your form, film it. Feel free to send it to me if you don't feel like, I mean, Chris, I can't feel this. Film it and send it to me. I guarantee you I can figure it out within 2 or 3 seconds. Hey, that's what you're doing wrong. It may be something as simple as going too heavy. It may be that you're bending your arms. It may be that you aren't opening and closing your chest enough. But what I want you to think about here is look at this exercise, mimic it, copy it, film yours, compare it side by side. If you really need to thicken up your middle to low trap or your mid back, whatever you want to call that, employ these 3 exercises in your pump day and your heavy day at the end of your session, and I promise you will see improvement in that area. If you like this video, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Chris and TV.